Good morning, everyone. It's Sarge Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. It's Breaking Dawn in the morning. Now we're yawning. We're here live, guys, in the flesh. What's going on, guys? It is match day, of course, guys. Goodness me, I'm gonna have to wait all the way until 12 midnight to kick off where I am. My goodness me. I mean, I would just love a 3 p.m. kickoff where I am. It's never going to happen, of course, because I'm 4 hours behind the UK, of course, guys. Ahead of the UK, of course, guys. So it's never going to happen for me. But, guys, thank you so much for joining the show. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and smash a like on the video, of course, guys. I want to be talking more intensely about Ruben Amorim's presser yesterday. Of course, Bruno Fernandes was just sitting right next to him, and he basically said, we need to score more goals. Bruno needs to score more goals. That is a manager, isn't it? He don't care who's next to him. He just like, you know what? You better score more goals, bruv. I don't care if you're sitting right next to me. You better score more goals, bruv. The same with Marcus Rashford. He's better score more goals, bruv. Absolutely. We need to score more goals. Minus goal difference as usual, as we are in at the moment. This needs to stop, of course. We need to bang in some goals tonight. Of course, Bodo Glimt lost against Karabag last time out. So we should be more than capable of defeating Bodo Glimt, guys. Absolutely. So we can get a glimpse into the future, guys. Absolutely. Big up, Rasta. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Sal, good morning. I don't have faith in Rashford. It's time for him to go. I don't want to see him in the front three. Me neither. Me neither, my friend Rasta. I don't want to see him either. I don't think, you know what? Sometimes we have to know when it's time to cut losses with a player. Unfortunately, we seem to hang on to players too long. Obviously, he's on an astronomical wage, which is totally undeserved, by the way, an astronomical wage. And you know what? It's the sort of affected his ego something. I don't know what you think about it, but it's his ego seems to be inflated. Do you think it's that? Do you think there's a problem with that? Or do you think it's simply a lack of talent? Do you think it's a lack of effort? What is it? What do you know? Do you think he doesn't understand the tactics properly? That's what I want to understand about it, because at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim called out Rashford for not scoring enough goals. He also said that maybe the number 9 position isn't for him. So basically, Ruben Amorim said, look, I tried him in the number 9 position. I tried him in that position, and it's not worked. So he's not going to play there ever again. So that is obviously, of course, more reassuring, of course, guys, absolutely. We need to do good in Europa League and the results. I need to see what happens. The next man knows who he's going to pick. Absolutely. Look, you know what? As we go on, Ruben Amorim have become more accustomed to the players and what players he has at his disposal, what their qualities are, what their qualities are not. At the moment, you know what? He is going to be a big surprise. It's going to be a big surprise in regards to Ruben Amorim and the quality that he thinks or he feels he has at his disposal. Because unfortunately, a lot of those players that are deemed the most experienced players are not up to the level that it takes to be, whether that's talent, whether that's mental, to be challenging for a title, challenging for the Champions League, because that is where we should be. That's our bread and butter. That's what we need to do, of course, guys, is challenge for titles and stuff like that, of course. Guys, it only takes a second to like a stream and comment, so a big up. Rasta, your dedication is absolutely immense, my brother. Thank you so much, my friend. You're an absolute gem. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Absolutely. To me, he has a weak mentality, and we can't have weaknesses in the squad. You know what? And weaknesses, especially if you're an experienced player in the squad, weaknesses, they resonate. They're sort of addiction. It's a sort of like a virus that goes around, of course. Do you know what I mean? It's like an addiction, of course. So, and we don't want players like that affecting the young players, of course, guys. Absolutely not. Big up, Pearl. How you doing? My prediction for today is 3-0. I'll take that all day long, Pearl. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends. Big up yourself. Big up, Kenny. How you doing, brother? Reached India in last night. Bodo Glimt will be better opponent than Everton this week. Kenny. I think that, you know what? I think we're going to get a surprise from Bodo Glimt. I really do. I agree with Kenny that, you know what? Bodo Glimt are not as bad as they are, that people think they are. We're going to have to actually show them some respect. Everton, you know what? Everton are going to do. Everton are going to try and cause an upset, but we should really defeat Everton at Old Trafford. I mean, I'll be extremely worried if we don't defeat Everton at Old Trafford, of course, guys. Absolutely. I'll be extremely concerned if we don't beat Everton at Old Trafford. Because you know what? I remember back in the days, back in the 90s, no, not the 90s so much, but 2012 and stuff like that. Everton cost us a league title. Actually, they cost us a league title twice almost. Do you know what I mean? Well, kind of. Cost us a league title twice. I remember us going 3-1 up, 4-2 up against Everton, of course, guys. You know what I mean? And drawing 4-4 at Old Trafford. We end up losing the game. Of course, the famous Aguero goal, as we know, of course, guys. We all remember that, of course. Absolutely. Mick, I think it's up to Rashford to want it. He has been walking around, not bothered since the contract bumper. Looks like he lost interest in playing football and more focused on his brand. And this is the problem. He obviously signed with Rockefeller, guys. He signed with Rockefeller. So obviously Rockefeller is more of like, you know what, they more look after entertainers and musicians and things like that. They don't have a good reputation, of course. I mean, obviously they're very, very high up. But you know what, he did sign with them. And you know what, he thinks he's a superstar, you know what I mean, already. And a lot of our players do feel like they're superstars already before they've actually achieved something. This is the problem. When we had Murtaugh, when we had Woodward and Arnold and all these guys, we were offering contracts for no, you know what, unjustly. We were offering contracts unjustly. Now we need to stop that now, offering these ridiculous contracts, astronomical contracts, you know what I mean? And then they're stuck at Man United for 5 years or so. And then if we want to get them at the club, we're going to have to take a huge hit, of course, guys. Absolutely. Rasta, I agree. Rashford is more like a celebrity. He's going to play a Ferguson solid David Beckham for that. I don't see why we can't do a Rashford. And the big difference between Rashford and David Beckham was actually a world-class player. David Beckham actually put his shift in for Man United. David Beckham actually won titles and Champions Leagues. That's the difference, isn't it? And even then, Alex Ferguson kicked Beckham at the club. I mean, I was against it myself. I feel like I was against that decision. But at the end of the day, in hindsight, when you look at it, well, we did kind of do well, didn't we? You know what I mean? I mean, when he initially left, we didn't do great. I know that. We didn't, obviously, when he initially left in 2003, we took a time to win the title again. We won it in 2003. 4-5, we didn't win the title. 4-6, we didn't win the title. So, you know what? We did replace him with Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, and Cristiano Ronaldo ended up being the player he is. So if you look at it in hindsight, from the big picture, the bigger picture, from the bird's eye view, you know what? It was the right decision at that time. Big up, Brian. How you doing? Big up, Sal. The legends in the chat. You're the legend, Brian. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Rap star. Absolutely. He's a rap. I mean, you know, one thing we say about Marcus Rashford is that he don't have any charisma to be a celebrity. What do you think? I mean, if he was a celebrity, what would he do as a celebrity? He don't even talk much. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kenny, I go with 4-0. I go with that as well, my friend. I go with that as well. I'll take that all day long, Brian. I'll snap your hand off for that scoreline. Absolutely snap your hand off. I snap both of your hands off for that. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. New single coming out, 50 Cent, called 50 Shots in Belfast. You know what? As well as, what is it? Let's name some songs for Marcus Rashford to go by. Absolutely. Nothing compares to you. As a Sinead O'Connor, you know what? Every time I think about Sinead O'Connor, I think about Marcus Rashford. Every time I think about missing, I'm missing you. I won't be missing you alone, missing you. Because since you've been gone, all those goals since you've been gone, missing you since you've been gone. Big up, Brian. Brian, I'd be surprised if that happens. I hope to be proven wrong. Absolutely hope so. Absolutely, my friend. Scampool, can't stop winning. Absolutely, can't stop winning. Absolutely, Scampool can't stop winning. One thing, you know what, that is a big worry for me, Brian. I'm very concerned about that. You just elevated my anxiety level this morning. One thing I would say is that Liverpool winning the league and Champions League double, God forbid, Liverpool winning the league and Champions League double. My goodness, my head's going to explode, for goodness sake. I can't take that. I can't take it. I have to go. Oh, goodness me. Brian, Madrid were just bang average. Madrid have been poor this season. Let's be honest with ourselves. Have been absolutely atrocious. You know what? And at the moment, I look at that Champions League group, that league table, so to speak, and I don't see any teams that I think, wow. You know, I don't really see that, honestly. You know, you can argue Barcelona and but even then they're drawing games and stuff like that. I don't see anyone in that group that I think, wow, that is an incredible group. So obviously Liverpool are storming it at the moment. Probably the best. Obviously, this is showing that they are the best performing team in Europe at the moment, which is a shame. It's a shame that this didn't happen. How can Liverpool elevate themselves? And Man United are not in the Champions League. We will get there, guys. Don't worry about it. We'll get there by hook or by crook. We'll get back in the Champions League and we'll show them. Don't worry. Just please, one of those teams, stop them from winning it. Can you do that for us? Can you do that for old Man United's sake and us? Of course, please, of course. Or even a treble. Brian. What's going on, the treble? My goodness me. You want to finish me, don't you, today, Brian? You want to finish me off today. You want to finish me off today, for goodness sake. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. You know what I mean? That I even just thinking about that, it's like, wow, my goodness me. Imagine, oh, God, I can't even say it. Goodness me. I can't imagine Liverpool winning the title. Absolutely not. That'd be absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Afro, how you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. The day Rashford left our army is the day we shall rise and conquer. 85% of fans doesn't rate him and favor him. I mean, absolutely. No matter what poll you do, no matter how you do it, people want Marcus Rashford out the door. People want him at the door at the end of the day. And you know what? I don't blame them. But you know what I'm gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna give him a chance, guys. Look, shock horror. I'm going to give him a chance, right? He's got some games coming up. We got Everton and Bodo Glimt. There's a few games there that he should score in. Even if he comes on a substitute, he can show himself in those games. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to give him those games to show himself, to see what he can do. If it gets to December, guys, we really do need to think about, you know, what's moving him on, if we're being totally honest. And it's no disrespect to Marcus Rashford. It's just simply sometimes players can stagnate at a certain club. They can stay at a certain club so long that they stagnate. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? They just lose the talent they had. They lose the hunger that they had. Because I personally do believe that Marcus Rashford has lost a lot of hunger in regards to Manchester United when he made his debut all those years ago. Of course, I think he's lost that hunger. He's regressed as a player. He hasn't improved as a player. So that is obviously a problem. Of course, Brian, absolutely. Big up, hi Sal. Big up, Sunny. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Ruben approach is perfect for more goals, but it's on the players. Absolutely, GK. This is where the audition is. This is where it all happens, guys. It all happens now, guys. The audition is now. This is what it's all about. And these players are on a tight, thin thread. If they do not perform for Ruben Amorim, they are not going to be at the club next season. I'm already pretty certain that a number of those players are not going to be at the club next season. Which players do you think will not be at the club next season? Be honest. Think realistically. Which players do you think will not be at the club next season? Kenny, Ruben van Nistelrooy, Leicester City. Big up Ruben van Nistelrooy. Of course, Leicester City, a great club for him to go to, somewhere he can build his career as a manager. Of course, I personally think he'll do very, very well at Leicester City. The only problem is when we play Leicester City, it's going to be a bit of a horrible thing, isn't it? Playing against Ruben van Nistelrooy, isn't it? But you know what? We got to do what you got to do. Business is business at the end of the day. That's what it is. And good luck to Ruben van Nistelrooy. Of course, best of luck to the legend, Rude. Of course, I think it's a fantastic appointment for him. He's made the right choice. He's waited his time, and he's made that choice. And Leicester City is the team for him in the Premier League, of course. Big up, Barman. How you doing? The legend in the chat. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Hope everything is good with you, and you're looking forward to the game, guys. Everyone's looking forward to the game. I hope they are, guys. I hope you are. Absolutely. Good to see everyone in the chat today. GK agree. Absolutely. GK's the gospel. Of course, big up, GK. Big up, of course, guys. Sal, how are you? It's true Liverpool is doing well right now, but I would not prefer a devil over them any day of the week. A devil, I mean, I don't, in my opinion, Tesfa, how you doing, my friend? Tesfa, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you on the stream, my friend. A devil rather than, I mean, that's a bit extreme. I mean, I wouldn't want a devil, you know what I mean, in my life. But you know what? I do want Liverpool to lose, and I do want them to drop down that both tables if possible. If they could drop down that Champions League table and drop down that Premier League table, that would be good for us, of course, guys. Absolutely. Because, you know, Manchester United, we got a great future coming up. Don't think that Ineos are not going to be backing Ruben Amorim. They're going to be backing him to the sunset and back, guys. They're going to back Ruben Amorim. Amorim is going to be backed. They have a secret kitty there of stash right there if they're going to use at their disposal. Ruben Amorim is their first appointment as a manager. He's their first appointment as a manager. They're not going to want it to foul. So they're going to give Ruben Amorim all the tools to succeed as the manager. And you will see, I've been speaking to various people. Man United are determined to back Ruben Amorim and to get Manchester United back to the top with one appointment, meaning Ruben Amorim as the first appointment and the last appointment that Ineos do. I mean, that would be lovely, isn't it? We have Ruben Amorim for the next decade. It would be great. It's about time we did that, of course. Rasta Sal, no way. It's Tipam. What's that? Tipamgo. What's Tipamgo, my friend? What's Tipamgo? People who don't care for United and the club will go to the club. Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sanjay. How you doing? How you doing? Our people need to show some desire and aggression. Our people have inflated egos and deflated character. Barman, absolutely brilliant comment that. You know what a quote. Inflated egos and deflated character. Absolutely. We have ourselves and we are to blame, of course, for inflating the number of egos. The media are to blame, etc., etc., etc. For example, inflating the number of players' egos. And that actually has the adverse effect on players. When you inflate their ego too much, it actually has an adverse effect on them. You know, and one thing we have to do is be real. We have to show a little bit of element of realism about this. Look at what he's doing. Are you scoring goals? Are you winning trophies? Personally, I think players should be only offered new contracts if they actually win titles, they win Champions League, etc., etc., etc. Not just being given it, you know what I mean, for the sake of giving it because you're some kind of poster boy, you're mank born and bred and stuff like that. I mean, that's what I would say. 32 likes, big up Sanchez. Can we get to 40 by the end of the show? Can we do that? So it's time to go to sell Rashford and see who we could get. I mean, who wants Rashford? This is the biggest problem, of course, guys. Who will want Rashford? That is the main problem. Is there anyone who's going to want him? Who's anyone going to buy him? Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about PSG wanting Marcus Rashford. I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. If I see it, I will believe it. I'll see it. I believe it, of course. 33 likes, GK. Big up, GK. Of course, Rasta. I feel like when he comes to Old Trafford, the fans is going to welcome him. Yeah, I can't wait to see Ruben Amorim's first game at Old Trafford, guys. The fans will welcome him. They will, obviously. I think Man United will give him a magnificent reception, of course. It's going to be incredible to see, guys, of course, his first game at Old Trafford. Rashford, we know, has skill and a knack of scoring, but he switches off his effort. One thing I would say, GK, and I'll say this to every Man United fan around the world, is that basically you shouldn't have to have motivation to play for this football club. Man United and its history and its heritage should be motivation enough. You shouldn't have to have motivation to play for this football club. Absolutely not. You should go on that pitch and say, I'm playing for the greatest football club in the world. That's what you should be like. Not, you know, I don't feel up for it today. I'm feeling a little bit low. Mate, win the game first. And then when you finish the game, then you can feel low. At the end of the day, as GK said, yes, he does have a knack of scoring goals. Yes, he does have skill. He does have pace. I believe he's losing his pace a little bit. He does have skill. He does have pace. But when it comes to consistency, and that is where you separate the world class from just good players, that's it. When you have consistency, when he has the consistency, then I'll start, you know what I mean, believing that this player is all that and he's a good player, of course. I mean, he's a good player, but a world-class elite player. Definitely not. Sal getting Bert, big up GK, big up, absolutely, absolutely. Big up everyone, of course, guys. You know what, I chat for days, absolutely. I could talk for days, guys, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think Rashford is going anywhere. I mean, realistically, Sanjay, when we're looking at it, he is the poster boy, unless he has a terrible season until the end of the season. Don't, I mean, totally count it out. Don't totally count it out. It could possibly happen. Will it happen? Would I bank myself on it? Absolutely. Would I bank my life on it? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't bank myself on that. I wouldn't bank my life on him turning it around this season. I really wouldn't do that, in my opinion. I wouldn't bank myself on it, because at the end of the day, you know what? When someone gives you evidence, if it went to the court of law, right, and someone gives you evidence as to why this is that and this is that, you say, look at Rashford, look at this, look at his down tooling, look at the off-field issues, etc., etc., etc. For example, you know, when he went to New York, whatever you feel about New York, guys, whatever you feel about it, him going to New York, why was he dressed like that, a snowman? Why was he dressed like a furry, a buffalo, whatever it was? He had this big fat jacket on. Why do you attract attention to yourself? That's one thing I would say. That's one thing I would say. Away from this, guys, of Manchester United, of course, could call up young player, a new player. Of course, Man United could be calling up Jack Kingdon, defender, of course, in our youth team. Jack Kingdon is a 19-year-old defender, could be in the Manchester United squad this evening. That is exciting. Another player coming off the conveyor belt, the great conveyor belt of Manchester United, of course, the fantastic conveyor belt. We always produce players. We always bring players through non-stop. But Jack Cannon is a very composed player, a strong player for his age, 19 years old, at the right age to break through in this side. It's the right age, I think, because when you look at Lenny Euro and play people like that, the players like of that nature, they are 19 years old. So we got to start breaking through some of these players through. It is said that Ruben Amorim is set to call up Jack Kingdon into the first team match squad. I mean, I would prefer Jack Kingdon to a Victor Lindelof, for example. I would prefer, because I want us to look further forward. What we've always done over the last, since our history began, we've always looked at the next best thing. We've always looked at the next player coming through. And I feel like we slowed down in regards to that. Eric Ten Hag picked it up a bit. He picked it up a bit. But the last decade, you know what? We've disappointed our heritage in regards to that. Our heritage. Jose Mourinho spoke about football heritage. Our football heritage is this. We bring through youth players, youth courage and success, and we do things the right way. That's how Manchester United should be doing things. Recently, over the last decade, we haven't been doing things right. So Jack Kingdon will represent a big step for Ruben Amorim in regards to his mentality going forward, and it proves that he wants to play youth. He wants young players to come through. I mean, I think what the best thing for Ruben Amorim to do is do that, because at the end of the day, build your own legacy. Forget these players who've been there for years, have down-tooled, have absolutely ruined Manchester United's legacy in this last decade. Some of them, they've broken record after record in a negative way. Bring players through, build your own team, and that's it. We go forward from there, of course, guys. Absolutely. Jack Kingdon may be called into the Manchester United squad for tonight's game. Of course. Big up Sanjay, of course. Big up yourself. Big up. How you doing, Liza? Around me? Morning. Salam alaikum. How you doing? Walaikum salam. I got a feeling Ruben gonna start bleeding academy players sooner, because some of these players can't adapt to the system. Absolutely, mate. And you know, one thing I would say is that I would start now. I would start doing this. I would start implementing the tactics into the youth team. I'll start implementing the tactics, etc., into the youth team, and make them work on that tactic, make them work on that formation. So whenever they get called up, they slot straight into the team, of course, guys. They slot straight into the team, and they have no trouble adjusting to the formation. That's what I would do, of course. We bullied Casemiro, Eriksson, which are class players from the past, so we need them for now, but you need to get one solid centre midfield. Absolutely. We got Ugarte, I think, and Mainu. Those two players will be starting for me. They're absolutely brilliant players. Let's not underestimate Ugarte and Mainu. They're going to be great for Man United going forward. I'm really excited to see more games from Ugarte, and obviously Mainu coming back as well. I'm excited to see Kobe Mainu coming back as well. Really delighted to see. I mean, we haven't had him play for a while now. Hopefully he comes back, and you know what? He has to get match fit as well. Of course, many of these players have had time off, so they have to get match fit, of course. So we're going to have to obviously look at that in future in regards to overplaying the young players. I do think we overplay Kobe Mainu. We overplayed him. I mean, Eric Ten Hag did do that. Did he have an option to do that? I mean, he did have 60-odd injuries last season, obviously, so he had to squeeze players into that formation and carrying on playing them again and again and again, of course, guys. Of course. Absolutely. So for now, this is that we have to fit. Absolutely. GK, big up yourself. At this moment, we've got a youth team good enough to rival the class of 92. Absolutely lies around me. This is one thing we cannot forget, the youth team. Man United are built on the youth team. Youth, courage, success. We are built on this. I do believe we have a similar bunch of players like the class of 92. The only difference is that those class of 92 players came in with the likes of Eric Cantona, Andy Cole, Ryan Giggs, Roy Keane, Peter Schmeichel, Dennis Irwin, Steve Bruce. Those players came in with the likes of those players, and those players were serial winners. The only problem with the young players coming into this squad is that the only experience that the senior players have in our squad is an experience of flattering to deceive, which means basically losing and not challenging for titles. That is the only issue I have with the youth players coming through. I do believe we should bring a one or two. Jack Kingdon is one, of course, which could be in the squad tonight. I would rather see a Jack Kingdon, for example, than having a Johnny Evans on the bench or a Victor Lindelof on the bench. You know what I mean? I'd rather have something that looks forward rather than staying where we are or looking backwards. We need to look forward, and we need to give some of these players a chance. I really do believe that. Lenny Yoro is almost back. Lenny Yoro is not quite match fit, of course, guys. That is very important in regards to match fit. We don't want to risk players and then end up getting injured again, do we? We don't want that anymore, of course, guys. So we have to be very, very careful, of course, with these players going forward. Oh, Jack Kingdon, awesome centre back from the academy. I know him. And try Scanlon. Scanlon's already been in the thing. Ibrahimov, of course, guys. It's got Ibrahimov is a future generational, of course. Had 3 assists in 30 minutes the other day in the youth team, guys. An absolute baller, scoring left, right, and centre in the youth team. Another player that can come through and play that role behind the striker. Do you know what I mean? And play that role behind the striker. You know what? We have to be excited about these players. But one thing we have to do, when there's a chance to give them some minutes, give them some minutes. Give them 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 20. Whether it's the League Cup, the Europa League, the FA Cup, give them some minutes. Because when you give them a few minutes here and there, Alex Ferguson did it. When you give them a few minutes here and there, they slowly developed into the players that they are. You know, Alex Ferguson, you know what? I used to get annoyed when Alex Ferguson used to do it. He used to play in the League Cup. He used to be called the Coca-Cola Cup back then. And he used to play all the youth team. Kevin Pilkington, Terry Cook, Phil Marine. These kind of players, guys. Simon Davies, you know what I mean? And these kind of players that were like, you know what, not quite there. But you know what happened? He played all the youth team. We hardly won the League Cup because of it, which is the Coca-Cola Cup back then. We actually lost to teams like York City 3-0 at home and teams like that. But one thing it did do, whilst he was playing those young players, 1, 2, or 3 of those players will come out smelling of roses. Not all of them. Some of them will drop, but 1, 2, 3 of them will come out smelling of roses, guys. Arnie slot machine is broken soon. I hope so, Kazi. Can you get some old 50p's and pull it in the Arnie slot machine, please, Kazi? Could you do that for me, brother? Thank you very much. Because they are rival or any weakness you notice. I mean, they lost to Nottingham Forest. I'm going to cling on to that. I'm going to cling on the fact that that people can beat them because they lost to Nottingham Forest. You know what I mean? One thing what's happened now is that Jurgen Klopp left the club and he's left a squad there for Arne Slot just to press play. That's it. Because he's had the squad there already. Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool in a very, very good position. He left them in a very good position. You know what I mean? And, you know, that is one thing you can argue about, you know, how well Slot is doing. I would like to see Arne Slot building his own team. I would like to see it when Mohamed Salah leaves. I want to see what happens when Mohamed Salah leaves. I want to see who he replaces Mohamed Salah with. I want to see, you know, I want to see him build his own team because that's not his team, is it? You know what I mean? That's not his team. Ruben Amorim could have went in that team and smacked it up as well. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. Kenny, I don't think he's back yet, Kenny. I don't think so. Disappointed. We can't get any luck with injuries, can we, guys? But you know what? Hopefully now, this new regime, this new manager, of course, you know what? These players will start not picking up injuries. We picked up too many injuries, of course, guys. Absolutely. Kenny, it will be one of the prospects for Amorim. Absolutely. I mean, he's already played a few things, of course, guys. Absolutely. It's haram, bruv. Kazi, you can have your own slot machine. You can have your own one, which is not gambling. It's just like basically your own one that you put your money in and take it out. Put your money in and take it out. That's not gambling. Yeah, absolutely. If you had your own slot machine, definitely not. Definitely not. Absolutely. Yeah. Brian, more like Sledgehammer. I wanna be Sledgehammer. Absolutely. We got to Sledgehammer them tonight, guys. Absolutely. Bodo Glimt. We got to do that tonight, guys. We got to start bloody scoring some goals. Absolutely. And I would get that Sledgehammer and I would smash up that slot machine. Of course, slot machines are dated, a bit like Arne Slot's tactics. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what? Yeah, look, we don't want that to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully the worst doesn't show its evil self. Hopefully it doesn't. And Arne Slot will fall down himself. And they'll start drifting down that league. It is only November, guys. It is only November. Of course, we have to remember that. We have to remember it is only November. So not to get too pessimistic in regards to what happens in the future, guys. Absolutely. Because you know what, anything can happen this season. There's a number of good teams that Liverpool still have to play. Of course, you know, we have to go to Anfield in January. We owe Liverpool one. We owe Liverpool one, guys. We owe Liverpool a good hiding at Anfield, don't we? I can't remember the last bloody time we won at Anfield. Was it the Matter? Was it Juanfield? Was it Juanfield? Was Juanfield the last time we won at Anfield? Was it that game? Absolutely superb goal from Juan Mata. Of course, the scissor kick into the bottom corner. An absolutely incredible goal. One of the best goals I've ever seen at Anfield as well. I think it was Juanfield. It's either Juanfield. It was either that or it's something else. Absolutely. So, yeah, I can't wait for the December. December's a big month. We got Arsenal. We got Man City. We got Spurs in the cup. And then in January, we got Liverpool. So in the next couple of months, we're going to know a lot about this team. We're going to know a lot about Ruben Amorim. We're going to know a lot about his tactics and which players he prefers, if he's favoritism, if it's not. The biggest concern I have going forward in regards to new managers and stuff like that is basically favoritism. I don't want to see any favoritism, guys. I don't want to see any more favoritism at Man United. Absolutely. I want players to play based on merit. You know, and this is one criticism we can give previous managers is that we're not been playing players based on merit. Good morning, Asif. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're ready for the watch along tonight, Asif. Don't forget to join me for the watch along tonight. Bodo Glimt. I'm here 11:30 p.m. Middle Eastern time, 7:30 p.m. UK time, guys. I'll be here live for the live watch along, of course, guys. Don't forget to join me for that, of course. It's going to be action packed, and hopefully we have some goals. Hopefully we get some goals, of course, guys. That'd be absolutely fantastic, of course. Asna is going to win the league. Don't say that, Kazi. I can't stand Asna. I can't stand them all. You know what I mean? It's a bit like this, right? It's a bit like going to hit your mate, right? One of your mates in the face. It's about you're about to hit one of your mates in the face and he ducks and you hit your missus. It's a bit like that by accident. You know what I mean? It's a bit like that. That is why I feel like when I think about no to violence, by the way. There's not the answer. That's how I feel like when I think about Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Challenge for the league. We need to be challenged for that league. We need to do it. We don't imagine Arsenal's smugness if they won the league, guys. Can you imagine them? You wouldn't be able to get away from it for years. If they won the league, you wouldn't be able to get away from it. It'll be up to here, guys. It'll be up to here. Absolutely. You know, with Arsenal fans on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Bebo, on MySpace, whatever it is, guys, absolutely. You'll see a high five. You know what I mean? You'll see you've been followed by Arsenal. Absolutely. They still sing songs about 1-0 to the Arsenal from 1994. I don't want that, guys. Absolutely. I hope Aston Villa win it or something like that. Big up, of course, watch along is on unless our mood is not ruined. Absolutely, Asif. Can't wait to see you there, brother. We're going to watch it. Man United are going to win, Asif. You know what? I'm going to say it right now. Man United win by 3-1. That's my prediction for the game, guys. Absolutely. Kazi, it's better than them two winning the Premier League. I mean, yeah, it is. It is the worst. It's the worst of three evils. It's the best of three evils. Sorry, Kazi. It's the best of three evils. So if I was going to choose any team, it would either be Arsenal or Chelsea. Sorry. It would either be Arsenal or Chelsea because you know what? Man City can't win it for the 5th time. Liverpool can't equal our championship tally. Of course, the Premier League tally. We got 20. They got 19, of course. If they win it this season, it's 2020. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It's 2020 again. And you know what 2020 is? Bloody COVID. We don't want 2020, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, we definitely don't want, we're definitely going to need vaccinations going to Anfield if Liverpool bloody win the bloody title again and equal our bloody Premier League title. Of course, guys, we can't be letting that happen. Absolutely not. No way. No. Absolutely. No way. I don't want that. Absolutely not. God blimey. Absolutely not. Anyways, how about Pep injured phase? Absolutely. The Pep Guardiola. He's got Edward Scissorhands in the dressing room. Either that or he's got Wolverine in the dressing room. Something like that, guys. Just have a look at Pep Guardiola over here, guys. What's going on with Pep? What's going on with Pep? Big up Pep Guardiola. Don't forget, I made a short video in regards to this. Today, I uploaded a short video in regards to Pep Guardiola, guys. You know what? I wish him the blessings. I wish him luck. I wish him happiness because at the end of the day, he looks like a complete mess. My goodness me. He looks like he's been dancing with wolves, literally dancing with wolves, guys. He looks like he's been wrestling grizzly bears. Absolutely. Definitely been wrestling grizzly bears. Either that or he had a cat fight in the dressing room between him and Grealish. Something like that. It looks like Grealish tried to grab Pep Guardiola's hair, but it looks like Pep Guardiola has no hair. So obviously Grealish couldn't finish the job off, of course, guys. And the contest was deemed a draw, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, Asif. The son scratched his face in there. Absolutely. He scratched his face. Absolutely. Scratches to scratches, dust to dust. Man City are finished. They're going down, guys. Scratches to scratches, dust to dust. That's the name of my short video, of course, guys. Go and check it out, of course. Absolutely. That's it. Our opponents play a great ball, mate. Don't say that, mate. Don't say that around me, mate, because you know what? I don't agree. I think Man United play great ball. Come on, Man United. That's it. Come on. That's it. Come on, play it. Absolutely. Come on, Man United. Come on. Let's leave Liverpool out of this. Let's leave Chelsea out of this. Let's leave Arsenal out of this. Let's leave City out of this. Let's leave Villa out of this. With Man United, we're going to get back to where we belong, guys. Don't worry about that by hook or by crook. We will get back to the heights that we deserve, guys. Absolutely. Good morning, Sal. How you doing today, mate? Good morning to you, Teddy. Oh, Teddy. Sheringham. You're not Sheringham, I know, but you know what? That's what I used to sing at the terraces, guys. Oh, Teddy. Sheringham. Absolutely. Good morning. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're looking forward to the game. Don't forget, I'm live tonight, 7:30 p.m. UK time for the live watch along. I can't wait for it. Buzzing, absolutely. Buzzing off my head, guys. Absolutely can't wait for it. Bodo Glimt, they play some good, believe me. Oh, Bodo Glimt do. Sorry, Asif. They do play good football, and we're going to have to be aware of Bodo Glimt. We're going to have to actually be respectful to Bodo Glimt, Asif. Absolutely spot on. I've been speaking about this earlier in the show about Bodo Glimt. They are an attacking side. They do have some good players. Patrick Berg is one of those players, of course, guys. Who remembers Patrick Berg? Patrick Burns, of course, absolutely. Yeah, he is absolutely a good player. So we're going to have to be very, very wary of the threat of, obviously, Bodo Glimt. They're going to want, this is the big, what we have to understand, this is their biggest game in their history. We have to understand that. They go to Old Trafford. This is their Champions League final, going to Old Trafford. So you know what? You can imagine they're going to be right up for it. So when we play against these teams, we have to treat it like a final as well. We have to go against Bodo Glimt and say, do you know what? We have to play you. We have to play you like you're bloody Liverpool, for example. We have to play you. You know what I mean? And I hope they do, of course. I say, it's fun to see a City struggle. Absolutely, it's fun to see City struggle. It's City having a breakdown. I think something is seriously going on with the 115 guys. I don't know about you, but I think they've heard some news. About the 115. I do believe that. I firmly believe that, guys. I think that when the decision is going to be made, it's going to be detrimental for the Premier League if Man City are found innocent. They are going to be found guilty of at least 50% of those charges. Even if it is 50% of those charges, that's around what 60 charges. You know what I mean? Everton got a 10-point deduction for 2 charges. Imagine Man City had 60 charges. They need to be dropped down to the National League, guys. Absolutely. My prediction for the game, Teddy, is Manchester United 3, Bodo Glimt 1. Absolutely. I'll go with 3-1 or 3-0. That's what I'm going for today, guys. Bodo Glimt did lose the carrier bag at home. So, you know what? But I wouldn't obviously put too much emphasis on that match. One thing I would say is that every match is different. And they were at home. So they may play, this is a much bigger game, of course, guys, for them. And obviously playing away from home, sometimes it's a little bit easier than playing at home. Man United have had a good record away from home recently, better than Old Trafford, of course, the last few years. 6-game winning streak. Does that mean Pep players are aging, or Pep is losing the dressing room, or Pep player dependent type coach? Regardless, Pep cannot be compared. He cannot be compared to. I spoke about this yesterday in regards to Alex Ferguson. He cannot be compared to Alex Ferguson. He's nowhere near Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson built Manchester United organically. Sir Alex Ferguson built more than one team. Sir Alex Ferguson built more than one team, guys. He built teams from scratch. He won the league with kids, for goodness sake. He cannot be compared. You know what I mean? I remember when Sir Alex Ferguson was going into games with Michael Carrick and Darren Fletcher in centre-back and winning away to Wolfsburg in the Champions League. I remember Alex Ferguson playing Raphael and Fabio right and wingers and beating Arsenal comfortably in the FA Cup. A great Arsenal side as well. And the thing is, he cannot be compared because one injury, and this is what happens to him. He crumbles. Adversity to the stars? Absolutely not. Adversity to the mud when it comes to Pep Guardiola? Absolutely. That is what I'm saying. And you know what? To be compared to the great Sir Alex Ferguson, for me, it's disrespectful because Pep Guardiola has really not been tested. He's not been tested. He hasn't gone to a team where, a mid-table team, or for example, you can argue like Jose Mourinho, he managed Porto. Porto weren't elite Champions League team, but it went on to win the Champions League with them. That's the sort of thing. They were fluky, of course. At Old Trafford, Man United should have went 2-0 up. Paul Scholes scored, and the corrupt referee, whatever it was, decided to disallow the goal. Man United would have went 2-0 up and went through, and he decided to disallow the goal. If it was a VAR, Man United would have won the game. Amir, all the best with the new formation. All the best. Come on, Amir. Come on, Amir. I love it, my friend. Come on, Amir. Come on, Amir. Let's do this, mate. I can't wait for it, my friend. I can't wait to the game tonight. We're going to be buzzing here. This is where it's at. The hype train is here, guys. We're tonight. Manchester United against Bodo Glimt. Ruben Amorim's first game at Old Trafford, guys. Let's make it a good one. Let's make it a good one. Let's hope that we can win the game now, of course, and we'll get lots of goals, of course. I am sure Pep is losing the dressing room since the new contract extension broke his team. It's just not performing. I mean, that is it, isn't it? Sometimes it takes a snap and you lose the dressing room. You know what? Anyone can lose the dressing room at any given time. This is why Sir Alex Ferguson used to remove the bad eggs before they became infectious. Before they became infectious, he used to remove the bad eggs, and that was it. You know what I mean? They were gone forever. He used to spot the bad eggs straight away. With Pep Guardiola, he's not got any experience of this. He's not got any experience of players down tooling, players not playing for him, players not liking him. The one thing I would say about Pep Guardiola, especially recently, is that Pep Guardiola has lost his charisma. When he came to Manchester City, he had a lot more charisma. He had a lot more about him. You like to listen to him. You know, you like his press conference and stuff. Nowadays, he just comes across very creepy and weird. And that's one thing I would say about him. Very creepy and weird. He didn't only have scratches on his face. He was dribbling and stuff like that. For goodness sake, what this guy got? Has he been bitten by a dog? What's going on, guys? I mean, I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest with you. He needs help. Seriously, if I was going to say anything, and I'm going to say this very seriously, guys. As a guy who worked in a hospital for 5 years, right? He needs help. He needs help. And someone needs to say it. Put an arm around him and say, Pep, mate, are you all right, bruv? Are you all right, bruv? Absolutely. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, I got you, mate. Yes, take out the virus before it affects the entire machine computer. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Take out the infected fruit before it infects the fruit bowl. As we know, there's so many metaphors in regards to that, and I don't think he knows who it is. I don't think he understands who the infection is in the squad, but that's no problem for us. I don't really care. But one thing I would say is that, the league is going terribly wrong for Manchester United right now. And I want Man United to move up that table pretty quickly. I think we will eventually move up that table very quickly, guys. But one thing I would say is that Man United need to start getting results pretty quickly in the Europa League and the league. Right? These two games, Bodo Glimt and Everton, are winnable games, and we should be winning those games. Am I going to overreact if we don't win those games? No, I'm not going to overreact, guys. Newsflash. I'm not going to overreact because I know the problems in that squad are there and they run deep into that squad. And one thing I would say is that, we have to give Ruben Amorim a number of months, if not this season, to totally understand his philosophy, his team, and to give him a chance in regards to putting his team together. Of course, this is not his team. So obviously he's going to have to have a few tweaks here and there, bring in his own defender here and there, midfielder, striker, stuff like that. And go from there. And hopefully he becomes a success at Manchester United. Of course, guys, give him a pep chat. Give him a pep chat. Absolutely. A little pep chat. Kaiser, you can do that for him. Absolutely. Give him he wears them jumpers though. I wouldn't put my arm around Pep because he wears those itchy jumpers. Maybe it's the itchy jumper, guys. Maybe it's the fact that he's got one of them itchy jumpers. He might have an itchy jumper and it's just making him itch everywhere. Maybe he's got one of those because he does have those turtlenecks, isn't it? He does have those turtlenecks. So perhaps he has an itchy jumper and it's giving him scratches and stuff like that. Who knows? Who knows, Absolutely. Liverpool's flying in both the league. It took Liverpool 20 years to get back to where they are now. And they've only won one title to show for it. As if one title to show for it. Of course, my friend. Absolutely. One title to show for it. One. So I think Liverpool will bottle it. I'm calling it, Asif. I'm calling it now, brother. I think Liverpool will bottle it this season. I firmly believe they will bottle the league this season. Liverpool will bottle the league this season, guys. I believe it. I do believe it, guys. I really do. Look at my pro pick. Oh, what's your profile pick? I can see your profile. It's Ruben Amorim, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness me. You know what, Ruben? No, my goodness me. That is, yeah. Pep Guardiola, look, you know what? What comes around goes around. You know, like Justin Timberlake once said, what comes around goes around, of course, guys. And that's what happens, you know what I mean? What comes around goes around, you know what I mean? And that is what's happening to Pep Guardiola at the moment. He's implosive, arrogant, egotistical ways. Stay humble, eh? Stay humble, eh? That's what he needs to do, is stay humble, of course, guys. Stay humble, eh? How important Rodriguez was for Man City? Big player, big loss, injury. Absolutely massive, massive. I think it's a game changer, lies around me. A game changer for when he got injured against Arsenal, I think it was. That was City, done. I firmly believe they could possibly come 4th or 5th, guys. They could possibly come 4th or 5th. We can take them, like, you know what? Lambs to the slaughter. Man United could take them. We could take them on. Absolutely, we could take them on. Take me on. Take on me. We're going to take them on. Definitely, guys. Absolutely. They are in a bad position right now. They are in a terrible position right now. And I'm all for it. I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Don't want a draw, win. Let's keep winning. Bigger Amir, absolutely agree with me, my friend. I agree with you. Kazi, remember, it's going to be Ammo Chat soon. Absolutely. We need to capitalize on Prem results out. This league is so awful. We do. It's awful, yeah. I mean, it's awful. All leagues are awful at the moment. Let me tell you that. All leagues are awful. I don't see any league that is absolutely a standout league at the moment. I think the Premier League is still the best. I mean, that would show you in the Champions League table that the English league is still the best. You know, but you know what? Football has declined in my aggressive, regressed enormously, of course. Agreed with you, Amir Fakir. Big up, big up, big up. Of course, stay humble. Stay humble. That's what it's all about, guys. Staying humble. And that is what we do on this channel, guys. We stay humble and we don't overreact for anything, guys. We back the manager, just like I backed Eric Ten Hag all the way to the bitter end, guys. I never once said Eric Ten Hag out. Not once. Zilch. Never once said that. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is not an actor. I'm not an actor. I'm not an actress. I say my heart. I speak my heart. I don't go in there sensationalize things. I don't call people names. I don't call people bald fraud and peanut head. I don't do things like that. You know what I mean? I construct a constructive opinion based on articulate sentences, things like that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I do. But you know what? Some people, they're determined. I can see it. I can see it. They're on the edge. I can see they're on the edge, a bit like Arsenal, you know what, doing that stupid celebration. I mean, he tried to do the Gutierrez one, then he done this one. Arsenal, the most unoriginal team in the history of football, of course. And then, you know what, it's a bit like that. You know what? I tell the truth, guys. I tell the truth. Nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth, absolutely. Lies around me. Asif, the point is how long Rodriguez is going to be out, that case, and how, absolutely. I mean, how can they suffer this much with one player out, and they're suffering, you know what I mean? One player out. Of course, guys. Teddy, what do you think about Ruud going to Leicester? I've got nothing but admiration for Ruud van Nistelrooy. I wish him the best of luck. Hopefully, when we play Leicester City, you know what? It's going to be a bad game, isn't it, for us? Because at the end of the day, I love Ruud van Nistelrooy. I mean, he's one of my favourite ever players. And you know what? It's a bit of a bitter pill to taste, to swallow, when we play Leicester City at Old Trafford. I think we're playing them at, obviously, not Filbert Street. It's the old one, Walker Stadium, whatever they're doing. It's called these days. But you know what? One thing I would say is that, you know what? I wish Ruud van Nistelrooy the best of luck, the very best of luck. And I hope that he succeeds. I think it's a great club for Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think they're not a bad club. Of course, they won the league. Of course, 2017, wasn't it? They won the league. So at the end of the day, you know what? They won the league sooner than us. You know what I mean? So they're a decent club, and if he succeeds there, he will move on to a bigger club. I'm pretty sure about that. Asif, we can show Lingard celebration to Arsenal. I mean, that was a lovely moment, of course, Asif. I remember that, the little moonwalk, of course, guys, absolutely. I would love that to happen. I would love Man United to go there and dance on their patch again. What will we dance to now? What will we dance to now? What would you think we could dance to? How do you think? Like, can we do a slow jam? Can we do a slow jam? Can we do the Johnny Bravo? Can we do the Johnny Bravo? What are we going to do at the Emirates Stadium, guys, this time? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Hey, Macarena. Hi. What are we going to do that? Are we going to do that? What are we going to do? We need to find out some celebrations for the Emirates one. Absolutely. That's what we need to do. Absolutely. Guys. Lies around me, this is the best chance to win the Premier League. All teams are dropping points, but bloody United players are not taking advantage. This is the problem. If we can't look after our own bed, we can't make our own bed, you know what? It's no point us even talking about it, because at the end of the day, we had an opportunity against Ipswich Town and we completely lost the plot. We didn't play well. In fact, Ipswich Town should have won the game. We have to go on an amazing run. And that run should be beating Arsenal, beating City, you know what I mean? And winning against Everton, winning against, obviously, all the Europa League as well, Europa League games as well. We need to win games, guys. We need to capitalize. And not just this season, over the last years, when we've had an opportunity to capitalize, we've never capitalized. And this has been the problem with Man United for a very, very long time, of course, guys. And we need to change that mentality, that culture within the football club. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Let's bring the wins home. Go, Man United. Big up Amir. Go, man. Let's do this, my friend. Asif, Liza Rami, Liverpool's are 8 points clear at the moment, mate. We were 8 points clear of Man City in 2012 with a month to go, and we lost the league. We were 16 points behind Newcastle in 1996 and won the league. Anything can happen. I know it's a little bit giddy, but you know what? Anything can happen. Life can throw a curveball at you sometimes, and you're not expecting it. You know what I mean? It hits you right in the, you know what? Absolutely. He has the personality and character to be a great manager. All the best, Ruud. Absolutely. All the best to Ruud van Nistelrooy, of course. Absolutely. Do the Trump dance. Do the Trump dance. That's the Trump dance, isn't it? It's a bit like a robot, isn't he? He's a bit like a robot. It's a bit like that. Absolutely. It's a bit like the robot. Absolutely. I would love to do a dance at Emirates, of course. They have taken points from us too often at the Emirates recently. Namely, the goal that was disallowed for Garnacho. You remember we would have won that game against Arsenal, but they ended up winning 3-1 because the goal was disallowed, and it sort of set us in disarray, of course. They had a corner, was meant to be a corner, and they ended up scoring from that. And obviously, we're going to attack, and they counter-attacked us. And you know what? We need to give them one. We deserve to give, Arsenal deserve a good hiding. They deserve a good hiding, and so do Manchester City. You know what? It's our time now. The time is now. The time is now. Absolutely, it is our time now. We are 50 points. Our Liverpool's, they lose, they win. So do we. That's the problem. That's the issue we're having at the moment, Asif. Asif, we overturned 12-point leads and won the league. Yep, absolutely. In January. In January as well. We overtook that lead, of course. I think it was 16 points at one point. Yeah, we overturned the 12-point lead. We did. Absolutely. And you know what? I love it, guys. I would love that to happen. I would love it if we beat them. Love it. Speaking of comebacks, that was obviously Kevin Keegan, when he felt the pressure on Man United, crawling back that 12-point gap, of course, and winning the title against Newcastle United in the 90s when football was proper. When football was proper in the 90s, grabbing back that 12-point lead. But the problem is now, back in them days, every team can take points from every team because every team had world-class players. Nowadays, every team doesn't have world-class players and they lose before they even get on the pitch. We had a team and set manager then. Absolutely, that's true. Yeah, you know what? It is a multi-layered thing. But you know what? Never discount the impossibility. I mean, we never know what's going to happen. Nothing is impossible, should I say. Nothing is impossible. We never know what's going around the corner. Things can happen, guys. Things can happen when you least expect it, guys. That's one thing I would say. And you know what? Starting tonight, Man United need to win a game. Man United win comfortably tonight, and we go into Everton. We beat Everton. And then by the time you know it, we're 2 games running in a row. We're playing Arsenal. Okay? So once we play Arsenal, when we defeat Arsenal in their own patch, think about the confidence that would do to this side. Think about the confidence that would do to this side. I firmly believe the test for me is when we play Arsenal, we win that game, I think we'll move straight up that table and we'll probably come in the top 3. I'm saying this right now, guys. And who knows what happened beyond that? You never know what can happen during the season. But we have to win the games people don't expect us to win. I mean, winning the games you're supposed to win is a given. You know what I mean? But we also have to win the games we're not expected to win. Because recently, over the last decade, we haven't won the games we're not supposed to win. In theory. Back in Alex Ferguson days, we were supposed to win every single game. Every single game we go into, we were disappointed if we didn't win. That's the type of mentality that we need to regain because we've lost that over the years. We've lost that over the years. We need to grab back that mentality and get it back, of course, guys. That's one thing I would say. You know what I mean? Because that is what it's all about, guys. You know what I mean? And being Manchester United, challenging for titles. You know, because we're the biggest club in the world who are not challenging for a title. And that is a straight fact. Hopefully this season we get some signals. So we might not challenge for the league this season. Maybe we're too far behind. I mean, I would never give up until it's mathematically over. But one thing I would say, maybe we are too far behind right now. Right? But one thing I want to see this season, I want to see hope. I want to see hope. I want to see progress. And I want to see us next season challenging for that league. I want to see us next season challenging for that league. I don't want to see us like, oh, you know what, we're 10th after 10 games. I don't want to see that anymore. We're done the dusted with the data. We're done the dust. We're done with that. We want Man United to challenge next season. And you know what, we've been too long in the doldrums, guys. Far too long in the doldrums. And we need to move up. Moving all up like M people, as they say. The problem is we are middle of the season with the new manager, loser mentality type players. Yeah, that's the problem, mate. It is a big problem, of course. But you know what? We are only 4 points. Is it 6 points for the top four? It was 4 points last week, by 6 points now. We got to win our games. And until we start winning our games, we can't really talk, you know, because we got to start winning our games. When teams drop points, we drop points. You know what I mean? When they lose, we lose. It doesn't make it. We're just staying where we are, ain't we? You know, Liverpool going to do a bottle job like they did at Chelsea. I'm calling it. I think Liverpool will bottle it. I don't know who's going to win the league. I'm not absolutely jumping up and saying Man United are going to win the league. Man United are going to win the league, because obviously that puts pressure on everyone, of course, even myself. But one thing I would say is that, you know what, I think Liverpool will bottle the league. I think Arne Slot, you know what I mean? Absolutely. He's definitely going to be not going to the party, because you know why I say going to the party? Because he looks like that guy out of Aqua. Come on, Bobby, let's go party. Yeah, come on, Bobby, let's go party. Hey, Bobby, you want to go for a ride? You remember that? That is Arne Slot. That is Arne Slot's last game. That is his last job. That was Arne Slot's last job, guys. You know what I mean? Now he's managing Liverpool. So hopefully Liverpool won't be having a... Hopefully Liverpool won't be having a party at the end of the season. I hope so, guys. And you know what? Man United are the wounded beast. We are. But at the moment, we're not awoken yet. But we will awake sooner or later, guys. The time will come when we will awake from our slumber and we will be back challenging for that title. I am so confident, guys. People don't understand how confident I am about Man United winning the league before 2028. I know that Ineos said 2028. I think it's going to be before. But what I want to see this season, the tool for this season, is to show progress, show hope for next season. If we get in the top four, that's hope. If we win the Europa League, that's hope. Imagine we win the Europa League, come top four. That's not bad, is it? For a start. And then next season, what we do, we go into next season and we aim at challenging for the league. Ruben going to change it. Honestly, this manager got Ferguson vibes. This man don't take crap. We only seeing his media side of thing private. I mean, he is the silent assassin. I called it many weeks ago. The silent assassin is Ruben Amorim, of course, guys. He is the silent assassin. Absolutely. So at the end of the day, he has got a side to him that we haven't seen. But you do get clues. You do get clues coming out of his pressers, coming out of his interviews after the game. I mean, look what he said about Ed Sheeran yesterday. I mean, he said about Ed Sheeran interfering in his interview after the game. He said the real star was Roy Keane. Shut down Ed Sheeran. One time shut down Ed Sheeran. The real star was Roy Keane. Absolutely. I love the guy. I mean, this guy is ruthless. He speaks the truth and he doesn't hold back. And that's one thing I would say about Ruben Amorim, guys. He doesn't hold back. And you know what? Hopefully going forward, we get on a run. It's all about confidence, guys. It's all about confidence. That's it. But we cannot rule out the Amorim tactical plan may not change our situation. We need Fergie magic to get back to competing. I mean, Fergie was a magician. He was a genius. He was a genius. But he defied logic sometimes. Ferguson. The way he just won titles. The way we weren't even playing well. People forget, but in 2013, we weren't even playing well. And we won titles. Do you know what I mean? And this is the whole thing with it. Hopefully, Ruben Amorim could be that guy. I'm fed up with sacking managers. I'm tired of it. Guys, thank you for joining me. I'll be back later on for Chatterbox, 2 p.m. UK time, guys. We are leading up to the game against Bodo Glimt tonight. Don't forget, this is the place to be. This is the realist. Absolutely. And don't forget to keep the notifications on so you know when I go live, guys, because anything can happen, of course, guys. Have a fabulous, fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Fabulous sleep, of course, guys. And I shall see you later on for Chatterbox, I hope. Take it easy, guys. Loads of love. Peace.